Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betkraft. Okay, today is another Friday morning. A very beautiful one indeed, and we've come up with our predictions for you today. And thankfully, we already, off Champions League dramas. A whole lot of things happened this last week. Champions League games, but you know, thankfully we'll have the league games going on today, and we'll be looking at these league games, which for me is much more predictable. And in these very ones, we'll be looking at them in a short while. But I want to ask you, of course, coming across our video for the first time that are yet to subscribe, to kindly hit out the subscription button down there so that you don't miss out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this channel on a daily basis. Okay. That being said, let's head to the business of today. And without further ado, we'll be starting with the French national game where we'll have Goblins who will be up against Quively Rennes. Okay, we're looking at Goblins, the home side. They've actually had one win in the last 6 games that they had. They've also drawn 3, and they've had 2 losses as well in the last 6 games that they had. And when you look at their way side, on the other hand, Quively, they have won one game, one draw, but they've lost 4 out of those certain 6 games that they had so far. When you look at how these two teams are fared, from home and away perspective, you can see that the home side Goblins have actually won 5 games in the last 10 home games, but they've had 3 draws as well, and that have lost 2 games out of those last 10 home games that they had. And when you look at the West side equivalently, you see that for their West side, they've actually managed just a single victory in the last 10 away games that they had, and they've had 5 draws as well as 4 losses in the last 10 away games for their West side. All right. Looking at this situation, you know that the home side is quite better. Seeing that they've actually won 5 games in the last 10 away games, in the last 10 home games that they had, and also they had 3 draws as well. So we expect to see the home side achieving a result in this one, seeing that it's only 1 loss, it's only 2 losses in the last 10 home games that they had. So we expect to see the home side winning or draw in this very one. So our verdict is actually home to win or draw, and on that 4.5. That's our verdict for that very one. And to the next game for the day, it is in Dämnische First Division, where we have Hillerod who will be up against Vendisel. Okay, the home side Hillerod have had 2 wins in the last 6 games. They've also had 1 draw, but they've lost 3 games out of those 6 matches that they had so far. And looking at their away side, also Vendisel have won 2 games, but they've lost 4 out of those last 6 recent encounters. Looking at their performances from home and away perspective, the home side Hillerod have won 5 games out of the past 10 home games that they had so far. They've also lost 3, and they've had 2 draws as well. And Vendisel, on the other hand, their away side, have actually managed to achieve 5 victories as well from away, and they've had 1 draw as well as 4 losses. But when you look at when you look closely at the matches, you can see that for the away side, 6 games out of the last 10 away games that they had produced lots of goals. And for the home side as well, you can see that the home side have actually produced over 2.5 on 7 occasions out of the past 10 home games that they had. All right. When you put all that together with the fact that the last 2 meetings for both sides, which was this year, saw them playing out at a 3-0 victory for Hillerod and also a 4-4 draw, that's a lot of goals. So when we put all this together, we expect to see a minimum of 3 goals appearing in this very encounter, and it is an over 2.5. That's a verdict for that very game. And that takes us to the next game for today. It is in Cyprus First Division. We'll have a Karmiotissa. Okay, we have a Karmiotissa coming up against Apollon Limassol of Cyprus. And when you look at recent games for both sides, and looking at Karmiotissa, the home side, they've actually been able to manage 1 win and had 2 draws in the last 6, but they've lost 3 games out of those. And when you look at Apollon, their way side, they've had 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses in the last 6 games that they had. And looking at closely at how they fared from home and away perspective, the home side Karmiotissa have actually managed just 1 win in the last 10 home games. They've had 4 draws, and they've lost 5 games out of the past 10 home games that they had so far. And the away side, on the other hand, Apollon Limassol have managed to achieve 6 wins from away in the last 10 away games, and they've also had 2 losses as well as 2 draws All right, and when you put all this together, also with the fact that the last time both teams met was in August, we saw Apollon from home playing 7-1 victory against this Karmiotissa from home on that occasion. So in this very one, even though Apollon is playing from away, we know that Apollon Limassol is having a great quality, and we will really do expect to see you know, the away side dominating this game once again. It is an away win. That's our body for this very game. All right, and that's it. I will take us to the next for today, and that is in the German Bundesliga, where we have Augsburg, FC Augsburg coming up against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Okay, and when you look at the recent games for the home side, Augsburg have been able to manage 2 victories in the last 6 recent encounters, but they've also had 3 losses in the last 6 games that they had also, and 1 draw. All right, and Borussia Mönchengladbach have won 3 games out of the last 6, but they've also lost 3 out of those 6 recent games that they had so far. And looking at the performances from home and away, you can see that for Augsburg, they've actually won 4 games from home, and they've had 4 losses as well, and 2 draws. And looking closely at the results from the home matches for Augsburg, you could see that the last 5 home games that they played out so far have produced lots of goals. The last 5 home games have produced over 3.5 consistently, and also the away side, Borussia Mönchengladbach have actually been able to manage 6 victories from away, and they've had 3 losses as well as 1 draw. And they too have seen lots of goals appearing in their away matches. Except the last 2 away games that they played out are only over 1.5. But when you put all this together, we know that Augsburg is a team that is scoring as well as conceding at the same time. And when you look at the head-to-head performances for both sides, the last 2 times both teams met, we saw Augsburg defeating this side from away. That was in January. So the result was actually 2-1 victory for Augsburg from away. And prior to that, we also saw them playing at a 4-4 draw. Augsburg played from home on that occasion, and then this very one, Augsburg also is playing from home, and we really do expect lots of goals appearing in this very encounter. All right, it is a minimum of 3 goals to appear in this very one, over 2.5. That's our value for this very encounter. All right, okay, that takes us to the next, which happen to be the last for the day, also in Germany, but in German second division, where we have Karlsruher, who will be up against Darmstadt 98. And looking at Karlsruher, the home side, they've had 4 victories in the last 6 games that they had, and also 2 draws. And when you look at away side Darmstadt, they've had 2 draws, 2 wins, and also 2 losses in the last recent 6 encounters. And when you look at how these 2 teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see that the home side, for the home side Karlsruher, they've actually won 8 games in the last 10 home matches. All right, they've also had 2 losses as well. But when you're also looking closely, you could observe that most of the home games that they played so far have actually produced lots of goals. 8 games out of the past 8 games out of the past 10 home games, actually. Okay, 7 games out of the past 10 have actually seen over 2.5. Some of them actually seen over 3.5 for the home side, Karlsruher. And Darmstadt, on the other hand, have actually won 5 games from away. They've lost 5 as well. And also, they've seen so many goals also appearing in most of their matches as well. And the last away game that they had saw them playing out a 5-3 victory against Schalke 04. And also, when you look closely for both sides, for the past 10 home games for the home side, none of these matches have resulted to a draw. It's either they actually won 8-8 and they lost 2. And for the away side also, Darmstadt have never had any draw in the last 10 away games that they had. They won 5 and they lost 5 as well. So when you put all this together, okay, looking at the last time they met was actually in a club friendly where they had a 0-0 draw. But prior to that, in a competitive second Bundesliga match where they had a 2-1 scoreline. And when you look closely, in all the 10 meetings for both sides, 8 out of 8 has actually resulted to a win for either side, and the other to be in a draw. One of the draws actually came in a club friendly, and in this very one, we really expect to see either side winning in this very encounter, but with lots of goals. So it is either side to win and over 2.5 in this very encounter. That's what our value for this very game. Okay, and that brings our predictions for you today on Betcraft to a conclusion. I wish you the very best of luck, and hopefully the ticket goes green. And also remember to play responsibly. These are football games. There are no absolute results. There are no absolute predictions anywhere. But we can only predict based on the data that we have in the past. So that being said, tomorrow is another day, and I will be coming up with our predictions on this very channel. But until then, keep winning.